G'day guys, and welcome to another Thursday night drive home session. It's your boy Joe. How are you, Big J?
Mate, I'm good. Currently stuck in traffic.
So
Apart
not
from
very
that,
good.
no, it's all right. I'm going home, so could be worse. Could be stuck in traffic, like heading to work or something. So yeah, not
Fair
doing too
enough.
bad. Not doing too bad.
Very good, very good. Uh, yeah, another week. Thursday
Mm-hmm.
night is going to be finally, for the first time in a long time, we're going to have a good Thursday night game. I think
Well,
it feels
you
like a
hope
good one.
so. You hope so, right? That's the big thing. You hope so. Can the doggies forward line negate what is GWS's good back line? Because I don't think GWS's forward line gets stopped by the doggies back line. Unfortunately, not many are going to be stopping Cadman / Hogan / a few others, or even Jakey Stringer against his former club, Joe. So last week he played his former club. This week he's playing his former club again.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one, I think. Lots of heartache, lots of wow moments. Good one to actually watch.
I totally forgot actually that
You
this
won a
is
premiership at the
he's
Dogs,
playing his
mate.
two teams back to back.
Well, won a premiership at the Dogs, so yeah, he did quite well for himself back in the day before he did some naughty stuff with 17-year-olds.
Oh
What can
boy,
you do?
oh
What
boy,
can
those the bad old days, the bad boy
yeah.
days.
Yeah.
But AFLW is coming up soon as well, so it's not like we're necessarily done with news and whatnot. Like there's always
No,
something new to come up, but hopefully this week is a different sort of week. There's quite a few interesting games. There will be a couple of blowouts here and there. I think that's going to be expected now with some teams really, really bottoming out. But hopefully we get some good ones. As Uncle Akka's woofing here, woof woof. Yes, hope you're doing well, mate.
It's good as well in Supercoach terms because I know a lot of people are teetering out. A lot of injuries at the moment, especially from the likes of Carlton, Port, and a few other teams. Al Patton this week has said Supercoach Finals is coming back, so it gives us something to do in September, which is kind of cool. As you say, AFLW Fantasy and the AFLW game as well starting up in a few weeks. So yeah, it's pretty good in Supercoach land.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, well, that'll be something really exciting. They did it a long time ago, a few years back, but it's great that finally we're going to be able to do that again. It will be my first time actually playing this game mode.
Me too.
There you go. So, but hey, in other news, we have broke another record at the Bombers. We are debuting number 14, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's a few people's dodgy loophole, and then finally he gets a game 21 games in. Hopefully it's just out of necessity and not too crazy. But if the kid's good enough, the kid's good enough. So congratulations to Jaden Nguyen, going to be named this week. Nice, handy forward backline DPP. I heard some news, Joe, that maybe big Tom Gross might be getting another comeback this week. So we'll see what happens.
Really?
Yeah. We'll see what happens with that because Harley Reid's no longer in the team. Yeah, he's done his ankle or whatever, and they're not playing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens rookie wise. Unfortunately for myself, I cannot get rid of the Gross loophole. So I have a loophole on the bench, which is nice, but I can't now put him into flex. So I still only have, I think, 21 playing this week. So, yeah, a bit rough there, but it is what it is. But nice for him, nice for his career as they try and figure out who's going to stay and go at West Coast.
Yeah, there you go. Tom Gross is back apparently. So that's a little bit, that's been confirmed. Big news out of Carlton.
Joe, as Causa was saying here as well, another one for versing their old teams, Jai Cully has finally been named. Everyone forgot about him. I think he wasn't mid-season draft. I think he was end of year last year. when he got delisted, and very, very happy for him versus his old team. Might light some fire under the belly versus West Coast this week. So there you go.
He's a good player. He's an exciting player. He didn't quite. He just needs a good run at it, I think, in my opinion. Someone who won't be getting a run at it, Charlie Curnow, he's done for the year. So this really does open up the door for a last. I think they play Port Adelaide in the last round of the season, doing it for Ken Hinkley. So potentially Carlton, not winning another game maybe this year. So Charlie Curnow out for the rest of the year is pretty big news.
Apparently, Adam Chera had some heavy strapping on his knee as well, and didn't participate much in the game this week. So he may be a bit conscious this week, which is not great for him. We'll see what happens, but it's not a great situation.
No, it's not really. But we're looking at also here, Causa was asking about, he's stuck on what to do with his league matchup, feeling that I'm down to trading Daniel to Mana, Rosie to Sarong, if leading. If not leading, going Rosie to Jezza. Jezza's, we're saying it for weeks, that Jezza's run home is just amazing.
Pretty good.
It is very good.
He wants that 100, man. He wants that 100, Joe. The club wants him to get 100. The AFL wants him to get 100. If he gets 100, his next 5 weeks as super coach are going to be bloody phenomenal. So good pickup for right now. I've seen a few Adam Cheras to Jezza Camerons this week.
Yeah, look, I mean, Jezza should pop off, especially against the Bombers and Richmond. He'll definitely be popping off for sure in those 2 games. Sydney, I don't know if they really have a real matchup for him. I don't think they do. And Port Adelaide. They're playing at GMHBA, and they love to play at GMHBA, so I don't really think that this is going to be necessarily an orange one at all. Rosie apparently might be playing this week, so Ken Hinkley was saying that the injury is more manageable. He has been able to train and play. It will be sore for another week or 2. He is capable of playing, so it seems as though that they're going to continue fielding him, maybe, even though he's going to be sore for another week or 2, and therefore, what? How many games left for the season? Like, what's the point? But I don't know. He might play. Who do they play this week? They play
Port aren't a chance. Port aren't a chance to play football, right?
No, they're not.
So
they're not.
At what point do you say? I know it's Hinkley's last few games and whatever, but at what point do you say, hey, I need to actually keep my players alive? Like, let's not risk something worse happening to Connor Rosies because he's not 100%. Give him a couple of weeks off. It's not like it's going to hurt us in finals. So I wonder
this week.
Yeah.
Like, they're not beating Geelong in Geelong.
No.
Like, what's the point of playing the guy?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying,
Makes no sense. Like, what? Because you want to farewell him. Like, you're never going to coach him again, so you want to keep coaching him out there on the field. It's a bit self-centered, in my opinion. But you can't do Daniel to Cameron in one trade, as you only had $100 in the bank. So what's Caleb Daniels' run like? Why are we trading out Caleb Daniel for? What was wrong with Caleb Daniel?
I think there's a bunch of fans and things like that are complaining a lot about his turnovers. And I know that if not having him, like if you don't have him, he ends up being a pretty good pod, like anti-pod at the moment. So maybe that's what Calls is saying. I'll be on in about 5 minutes. I just got home.
Yeah, no worries. See you then. So why do you want to trade out Daniel Causa to get Cameron in? How many trades have you got? 2 trades left for the year, I assume? Hey, Stephen, how you doing? Good to see you. Charles, hello, my friend. Michael, good to see you as well, man. Thoughts on Darcy Cameron coming to West Coast? I don't know. Are you gonna get Darcy Cameron to come to West Coast, or are you gonna draft Cooper Duff Tyler, who is the best ruck, potentially a top 2-3 pick in the draft? You know, you might be going for someone like him. So if you're going to do that, you obviously have dropped Flynn. Apparently Flynn is out this week, so you're not going to play Flynn. Obviously still got BJ Williams in the side. Question really of, are you going to get DCAM, or is DCAM going to literally... I find it hard to imagine DCAM leaving Collingwood at this point to you guys when you're about to draft Cooper Duff Tyler. I don't know. Kai, fully switched to AFLW content. Love it. Yeah, look, I'll be consuming a lot of that in the coming days for sure. Oh, buenas tardes, champions. Balls out for Jezza this week. Is my pod ladder to success? Yeah, Jezza. Look, what happens if Geelong make it to the grand final, and on grand final day, Jezza kicks his 100th goal? Do we swarm the field? Do people still charge the field? People power has spoken. If Jeremy Cameron kicks a goal on grand final day, does everyone run out onto the field? Do they do it? No one is allowed to run on the field in grand final, they said. Well, are they normally allowed anyway on any given day? Are they allowed for people to just run onto the field? Apart from grand final day? If it was a regular season game, they are allowed to run onto the field? Amazing to get over 2,600 last week and still drop 1,000 spots. Yeah, I know. It was ridiculous. A lot of big scores last week. 4 over 3,000, if you don't mind. All right, if we go to Grok. Are spectators allowed to run onto the AFL football field when a player kicks 100 goals? I have one trade left, but I have big uniques in Anderson, Nash, Pickett, Sinclair. What word on Gawn VC? Oh, yeah, with no Flynn, Gawn's going to go bananas. Yeah, Gawn's gone bananas against West Coast this week. So you want to get a pod back in return by playing Jezza. Look, you do have some uniques, as you say. Anderson, Nash, Pickett, Sinclair. I don't know. I reckon save the trade still for another injury. Or maybe use the trade in a couple weeks' time. They're not paying him enough is the talk? Ooh. If they're not going to pay him enough and he decides to walk, you guys have to be paying him significantly more money, though, for him to walk across, to leave Collingwood, which really, let's be honest, are premiership favourites. For him to leave Collingwood to go to the bottom of the ladder team, like he's leaving number 1 to the Wooden Spooners. Like, that's a big move. You guys better be paying him good money. And I hope you are, because he's a really good ruckman. He deserves to be paid. To be paid what he's worth. And he's one of their most important players. Spectators are not permitted to run onto the field at any time during a match, including when a player achieves a milestone like kicking 100 goals in a season. AFL has strict rules to ensure the safety of players, and unauthorized entry onto the playing field is prohibited. Historically, pitch invasions were more common, particularly in the early days of the VFL, when fans would rush the field after significant moments. Sure. For example, a notable instance occurred in 2021 when Lance Buddy Franklin kicked his 1,000th career goal, prompting some fans to invade the field. This led to discussions about the tradition, with players expressing concerns about safety and the AFL reinforcing measures to prevent such incidents. While the 100-goal milestone is a celebrated achievement, the AFL encourages fans to express excitement from the stands. See, like they've never been allowed. They've never been allowed to storm the field. So just because the AFL is saying you're not allowed to do it, I'm not sure is enough to be like, okay, fine, we won't do it. Big week for my Lions this week. I'm very nervous. Oh, of course it is. It's a huge week for you up against the Pies. But I have a sneaky suspicion. I don't know. I have a sneaky feeling that you guys are going to win it. I'm tipping an upset. I think the bookies have Collingwood as the favourites. If you look at the bookies have got Collingwood as the favourites, but I just have a feeling based on the way you guys played last week, how completely disinterested you were in that Gold Coast game. To me, it looked like you guys were being very, very focused on this game and that you couldn't give two shits about the Suns and that you were really focused on this Collingwood game. So, I don't know. I anticipate you roaring back into this week. So, yeah, I'm going to be tipping the Lions this week. It is a big week for you. I'd be very nervous. Are they ready? Well, they better be. You would be going home. True, the go home factor is a big thing. The go home factor. It's not like living in Melbourne is such a pain, especially when you're playing for the top of the leaderboard team and you're the favorite to win the whole thing. So it's not like he's playing for the Bombers, or Melbourne or Carlton. Like, he's not playing for a struggling team at the moment. He's playing for a great team. So it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling knowing that you're like the best in it. They ran on for Buddy. Yeah, man. They've run on every time someone's hit 100 goals, they've run on. Not as confident on Pies as I was. Oh, no, they're still the team to win. They're still the team to win for sure. It's just a question of who is good enough to stand up in big moments to run with them. And you're hoping to see some really good contenders. Obviously, the Lions are contenders. The Crows are showing that they could be contenders as well. They were lucky against the Lions. The Lions couldn't kick a goal to save their life. But, yeah, the Crows look pretty good. Obviously, you can never discount the Cats. The Cats are obviously a really strong side. The Giants, when they get a run on, they're a really potent side. Freo actually beat Collingwood at the MCG. All of the stats suggested that it was a Collingwood win, but Fremantle managed to hold up with all of that immense pressure. The Dockers managed to hold up, so that was really impressive by them. So they could do it on their given day. I don't know. It's Wardlaw in this week, but 50-50 for Larky. Well, I've heard that Wardlaw apparently is one hard knock away from having before fronting the concussion board. So for Wardlaw's sake and for football's sake, because the game is better with a healthy, fully flying Georgie Wardlaw, he has to change the way he plays. He has to come in and not play that kamikaze style of football. He has to come in on the side. He has to rotate somehow. Like he can't cop more hits. Georgie has to change the way he plays. I really hope, for his sake and for football's sake, that he can avoid further concussions. The fall of the Pies could be huge if they can't find a ruckball. Yeah, because if he goes, because if DCAM goes, who rucks? Who's their backup? Who is the backup for Collingwood that can realistically help them go back to back? Hey, Velo, good to see you, man. I'd love to see the Crows do it. Bro, that's my dream. I'd love to see the Crows do it. 100% I agree. The Crom would be perfect for me. He actually hasn't scored well against BJ in the past. Really? Interesting. Gorney. Times are different. Henry, times are different now. I doubt they'd ever allow that nowadays. Stuff them, bro. Who cares what they allow? What they're gonna... What are they gonna do if it's grand final day? There's around 100,000 people. Okay? There's around 100,000 people at the MCG on grand final day. Jezza kicks his 100th goal. And say half of this crowd, say 50,000 people, storm the field. What are they going to do to those 50,000 people? Realistically, what is the AFL going to do to every one of those 50,000 people that stormed the field? I'm just trying to imagine the chaos. Cox. They have to re-sign Mason mother flippin' Cox at 33 years old. Oh my god. That is crazy. Ben! How are you, Ben? Ned Reeves to Pies if DCAM goes to Eagles. Ned Reeves. That's a shout. Yeah, he's not getting games ahead of Meeky Boy, is he? There's a few ruck up for grabs. I'm pretty sure, Draper's probably going to... I think Draper's going to Brisbane, by the sounds of things. We'll obviously keep Nick Bryan then. Hey, there's also there's another guy out of contract for the Bombers. I think he'd be a perfect fit for Collingwood. He did used to wear stripes. Different coloured stripes, though. I reckon Old Gold would be a perfect fit for the Pies. Old Gold. That experience, Collingwood already have the oldest team of all time. Why not double down and get Old Gold? He wants to go again. And he's seen it all. So, Old Gold to the Pies. Who says no? Who says no about the Old Gold? Yeah, but you're right. You're right, Michael. You're right, actually. That WA, that go home factor, I didn't quite forgot about that, actually. You're very correct. Yo. Yeah, Jen, DCAM better not leave the Pies, mate. As Brad Scott was saying when asked about Draper, well, when we get entering August and a player still hasn't signed on, you can accept that there's a lot of doubt there. Yeah, I know, 50,000 people. It's pretty hard. Gold member to the Pies. That's it. Oldie to Collingwood not happening, as he will be the number one ruck for Essendon. Bro, he's not. Nah, we're letting him go. There's no way we're keeping Old Gold for next year. There's no way. Look, if Draper goes, look, we've got Blackiston. We drafted Blackiston in the mid-season draft, and Blackiston, yes, he's playing in defence, but Blackiston actually is a ruck. So I reckon we could ruck with Vigo Blackiston. We could do that. We could do Blackiston with 2 metre Peter, pinch hitting in the ruck. So I don't really think that we need to keep Old Gold. Eagles will keep... Yeah, man. Yeah. That's true. I mean, the Eagles are people say that Collingwood's the biggest club in the land. No, Collingwood is not the biggest club in the land. The Eagles are the biggest club in the land with the most money behind them. The Eagles are the biggest. I'd say Collingwood is second biggest, but the Eagles are huge. And yeah, the Eagles can pay him for sure. And if they're recruiting someone like a DCAM, that would go a long way to helping them with their rebuild. How old is DCAM, by the way? How old is he these days? $30. Ooh. He doesn't have much time left. Then again, he's a ruck. They tend to play for a bit longer, actually. Forget what I said. DCAM has had a good year. Yeah, man, he's been huge. Very nice, Jen. Very nice. Yeah, he's a really important player for you. And I think he's finally getting the recognition he deserves. So, massive props. Hello.
What's up?
Nothing much. We're just talking about DCAM going to West Coast, maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Flynn apparently is being dropped this week. So
yes, sir.
Yeah,
that he has. Yeah. So interesting times. They're building up for him. Goldie 340 games, 350th next season. All that experience. I was saying, if DCAM goes, because if DCAM leaves Collingwood, who is their backup ruck? They don't have one. They have to sign on.
Well, that's
Mason Cox, who's 33. So my suggestion was, well, why not actually get a good ruck who has a lot of experience. Why not send old gold to Collingwood?
Why not?
Who says no? You get one of them. You get the most experienced ruckman in the game, and
No, I think that the problem with Gold is he can't play a full season, and Collingwood will desperately want someone who can play a full season. They need someone who can play, because Cox doesn't play a full season. They're desperate to get someone else. I could see them poaching someone from the state leagues. I could totally see them going up hard for a Ned Moyle, who I think would be very, very, very happy to go to Collingwood. Yeah.
I'm trying to sabotage him, Velo. What are you talking about? Stop it! Stop it! I'm trying to sabotage them. 0.5 plus 0.5 equals 1. Half and half equals 1. Yes, that is correct. Quick maths. Righty. So, Jay, what do you think about Goodwin? Is Goodwin gone into the year, you reckon?
I think it's more dependent on who's available for Goodwin. So
there's a lot available.
If there's coaches that are happy to go to Melbourne, be it a Simpson, be it a Longmire, be it someone else, maybe a Ken Hinkley, if they're happy to take the reins and stuff, I think potentially Goodwin will be going. But if they can't get anyone to fill the position, they're not just going to get rid of someone.
Voss and Goodwin swapping jobs.
It could happen, man. Imagine Voss. Imagine Voss coaching Melbourne next year. It will be an interesting position. But yeah, I think it's more dependent on who's available than anything else. Voss may stay, so it could be.
Obviously, we've seen players traded. I've never seen coaches traded before, though. Yo, Jen, 27.52. Well done. You smashed it this week. That's beautiful to see. Ben, we can't afford to pay out Goody. He will survive. Okay. Well, that feels like a bit of a waste, doesn't it? Unless he resigns. Who do you guys think can actually win the flag?
Look, I think currently there's 3 teams who you would say are pretty close. Probably 2, and then a third, and then a fourth. So the first 2 I would say would be Collingwood and Geelong. I think they're probably pretty close to the most well-rounded team. Third would be Adelaide. They're just very, very good at the moment. I'll throw a 5th in there. Number 4 would be Brisbane. They've done it again. No real major injuries. A little bit worrying about Zorko at the moment, but I think he'll be okay. And then I think Freo is number 5. They've got a very well-rounded team. It's more about Freo being able to do it. I mean, they've never done it before. They've got still a very young team and a very young team across the midfield and the forward line, which isn't great sometimes. They don't have like a super experienced, Tex Walker alongside a Thilthorpe to say, hey, when the tough times get tough. But they're probably the most dangerous team, Freo, at the moment, just because it's hard to stop their midfield. It's very hard to stop their forward line. It's very hard to stop their forward line, block their talls, the mediums come in. Block their mediums, the smalls come in. And then the talls come in. It's not like, we just have to nullify Thilthorpe and Tex Walker, and then it's a little bit, less.
Yeah.
They're very, very good. They've got very, very mobile talls who can run and do stuff. So, yeah, it makes things a bit scary and a bit tough.
Yeah. I mean, you basically nailed it. It's probably the top 4 are going to be. Whoever the top 4 are going to be, probably are the best bets. But ultimately, Collingwood have the best opportunity because out of those teams, they're the only Victorian team that always plays at the MCG. And they obviously have – it's a really big advantage. It's a shame Adelaide don't play at the MCG more than they ought to, because obviously, as we know, the MCG is the home of the grand final every year, and it will be the way till about 2050. So it's hard to say that anyone other than Collingwood right now are the favourites to win it all. But if there's anyone that can, Adelaide do match up pretty well. They tend to have a lot of close games with them. And now that they've, added a bit more maturity with Cumming, Pete Ling, and Neil Bullen, they do feel a lot more structurally sound. And you would think that if they were able to recruit Nas, if Adelaide were to successfully convince Nazaya to come to them at the end of the year, you would say that Adelaide might have one hand on the cup next year. I think Adelaide would definitely be the flag favourite if they could do that. But this year, I still do think Collingwood's in the prime position. They are managing their players quite well over the course of the season. So I'd say the Collingwood are the favourites. And, beware of the Giants, for sure. The Giants are pretty good. They're really good, actually. But I just feel like they're having too many injuries at this point of the season that is disrupting the momentum and the continuity of their players and of their team. They're not being a set unit. So I think that's really annoying and unfortunate for them. When they're at full strength and they're flying, yeah, absolutely. They're among the best, but I'm a little bit concerned about all the injuries that keep coming up for them when they least expect it. And Freo at the moment, they're good because they're good because they've got Hayden Young back in the side, and he's one of their more important players. So Hayden Young coming into that Fremantle side does a lot of good. And our predictor, I think, on the members live stream had Freo making the top 4. So that was they actually finished 4th on the ladder on our members stream predictor. So, and they did beat Collingwood here at the MCG not too long ago. But if you look at the stats, the field position, the contested possessions, a lot of these important stats though were all skewed in Collingwood's favour. And it was all thanks to a great final quarter that Freo were able to win the game. So interesting to see whether or not that stands up in the grand final if they can do it again. I'm still not quite a believer that they can. Happy to be proven wrong. I've got nothing against Fremantle. I think finally, their fans have been dying to win the flag, their first flag ever. Still an empty trophy cabinet. I'd be very happy for Freo to win. They beat Gold Coast Giants and Pies away. Yeah, you just never know. You just never know with them. It's hard to read. I feel like with Fremantle, like they did beat Gold Coast away. I think Gold Coast was super inaccurate that day. The Giants probably expected that it was just going to get done. I'm not sure. And Pies, that if you read it at face value, that's a wonderful record, and their record against the top 8 is pretty solid as well. So, it's different in finals. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they have matured now to the point where they can carry their home and away form into the final series. But you can't have them be as your favourite. You can't have them ahead of... I don't think you can have them ahead of the Pies, for example. Mark! Hello, guys. Been hoarse, getting a couple of big wins lately on fire. Now my man Draper gone to Brisbane. Not too happy, but that's the talk. Yeah, man.
Could be going there. Nice replacement for him if like a Darcy Fort retires, I think. They lost Danaher, and I don't think they've been as good. But you just don't know with Mark. You just don't know with Draper either. Poor injuries. He could come out next year and just do nothing. He could be there. Crazy thing, Joe, Brisbane could get stronger next year just off the back of not doing much with the likes of Kadeem Coleman. Plus, Mark, what are you doing? Thank you very much, Mark. Oh, wait.
Wow. Couple of...
Kadeem Coleman, and then they still have Doty back too.
You got $3,000 win. You won 3,000 in 2 races. Oh my God! Congratulations, Mark. Well done. A little bit of a purple patch. If you're going to gamble responsibly. Imagine what you could be winning, what you could be buying instead. You could be sending us $50, mate. Mark, you're a superstar. What would you like me to do for you, Mark? What can I do for you? Did you want me to put another bet somewhere for you on Sportsbet? But thank you so much, mate, for your generosity. You're an absolute legend. But look, if Draper does go to Brisbane, I don't think it's end of the world.
No.
We'll probably be in the top 10% of their pay, which triggers a round 1 compensation pick. And if you were to ask me at any point in time during the course of Draper's season, would you ever get a first round pick for Draper? And I'd say no. Personally, I don't think any club would volunteer and give us a first round pick for him. So us getting a first round pick for Draper going to Brisbane is a really good situation. I don't think we necessarily are desperate for a lot of rucks. We have quite a few rucks at the moment. I think we've got Blackiston, Vigo, Brian. So we've already got 3 rucks still, even if Goldie was to retire and Draper was to go. We've still got 3 rucks on the list. So it's not end of the world if he goes, and I'd much rather us hit the draft, maybe bundle something up, try and get Harley in. If not, maybe trade up and try and really dominate some selections in the top 10. I'm not against it because we're rebuilding, and he might not be part of our next premiership. And you never know how he will return because he's got an Achilles injury. And Achilles, a lot of players don't come back the same, especially people like him who are really reliant on their athleticism. You don't know if they're going to return the same from an Achilles injury. So for me, if we get a first round pick for him, I'm happy for him to go personally.
Yeah. I mean, the thing going on that as well is just I don't think the team has been as good. Or the team's not missed him too much, I think. You guys have had quite a few good young players stand up. May and McMahon are doing quite well in that forward line. So he'd almost, if you lost all your ruckmen and he came in as the number 1 ruckman, okay. But otherwise, I think you'd actually struggle a little bit to find a spot and be in the best 22.
Essendon can't match the proposed $24 million deal for Harley.
That's so much money, man.
It is a lot of money. But we're happy to front. We've front end a lot of contracts, and by the end of this year, if Draper's going, and we've got too many people on our list, we're going to have to do a lot of culling of the list. I think it will. We've added a lot of youth, and we might be culling senior players, and obviously the senior players are on more pay than the youth. I don't think that we can't afford to pay for Harley over the long run. I think that we have money. I don't think the idea was that we can't afford it. I think the reporting from Caroline Wilson was that we don't think that he is worth that amount of money because it's huge.
Give it to Butter.
Yeah, exactly. If you could offer that much money, you would absolutely be willing to give it to Zach Butters over Harley Reid every day of the week, in my opinion. Zach Butters is him. He's up there with the Bonts and the Dacosses of the world. He's a freak. You could even offer that to Nazaya.
Possibly. He's the right age profile as well, which is what you want.
But 24 mil for Harley, it's not that we can't afford it. I think it's just a lot of money to be giving to a young player, a really young player. That's insane. Because once they've got that guaranteed money, it's hard to keep someone young and obviously as freewheeling as he is to account in terms of making sure that you're staying up to your standards. Normally people have to earn their way, and after a body of work, they then land the big, massive Uber contract. But for him, he will be going straight from rookie contract to $24 million. Like,
yeah. And the problem with Harley Reid too is that if something happens off field and things like that, the AFL club has to hold him to that end of contract. So you say, cool, we're going to give you 24 million. Could end up being 24 million guaranteed. You think it'd be like 8 or 9 years worth of that as well, and then one injury, something happens, does a Taron Thomas now that you've just bought him half of Perth, and then that's it really. So yeah, it's a bit of a rough one. It's too much money.
I don't think no, but yeah, like it's too much. It's way too much. Like that's an obscene amount of money to be giving a young man, who hasn't really been in the system for very long. And again, like you just don't know what sort of. You've seen mature senior players sign a contract, a big contract, and not come back the same ever again. These are people who are in their mid to late 20s, sign the contract, and then you can notice a dip. They're not playing with that desperation that they had before. Just look at Brodie Grundy. Look at Grundy. He was playing out of his skin, demanding $1 million contract, got the contract, and then you could tell that he wasn't quite to that level, and then he got injured afterwards. But there was a noticeable drop before the injury that took place. And we're talking about a kid. And when you're giving a kid guaranteed money like that for a long period of time, it will take a special character to maintain professionalism and strictness and dedication to his craft. You know what I mean?
And halfway through the contract, he goes and does a Grundy and says, "Nah, I'm out of here," and then someone has to pay a bunch of money. So there you go.
24 million being over exaggerated. Well, I think that might be the offer that Harley's management has put to West Coast. If you want to keep him full time, if you want to keep him long term, that something along those lines. Even if it was 20 million, that's still a ridiculous amount of money for a kid.
Yeah,
he's a great kid. He's a very talented kid, a very exciting kid with massive potential. Yes, but he's still a kid.
Buddy Franklin.
Exactly. Like we're not talking Buddy Franklin right now, or like Gary Ablett. Like it's he's on holiday now and trying to get his girlfriend back after them splitting. Really? Have they split with his girlfriend? Oh shit! I hope not. Our whole point was we're trying to get him to come to the Bombers because Dersma's because they're siblings. Oh shit, that's not good. There goes our ploy to get Harley Reid. But yeah, no one player is worth that kind of money.
Maybe he's split up with his girlfriend because he told her he's not leaving West Coast.
Maybe she's like, "Stuff you! I was only dating you to get you Essendon." Maybe she was a sleeper agent.
Pretty much.
She was literally a sleeper agent to trying to get him to come to the Bombers. Oh wow, that would be pretty crazy if that was the case.
I just want to say too, congrats to anyone that's still got trades at this point, because there's been so much bloody carnage over the last 3 weeks. It's been pretty phenomenal. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Agreed with what you say. But yeah, you're right. He will certainly bring a lot of money. There's no doubt about it. He will be bringing a lot of money to the club, but at the same time, it's still. But what happens if he gets injured, as Jez mentioned? What happens if he doesn't live up to that hype because he's a kid who has just been given guaranteed money? What happens if he does not achieve what you hope he can achieve? But because he's got this guaranteed money now, he won't. If he doesn't reach those levels, that Messiah level of he's going to carry our team.
Where's the push? There's no more push for him.
There's no more push, and if there's no more push, then he's not going to reach those heights, and people will not be looking at him with love anymore. People will be looking at him with hate and vitriol and judgment. that you've demanded the high contract. You've demanded that high salary for us to keep you. You're supposed to be the guy that takes us forward. But if he doesn't, then he's not going to be selling lots of club merch or sponsorships potentially. You know, like
he'll be out the front. He'll be out the front selling the club merch. I'll tell you what. The contract as well, Joe. It also kills, or at least somewhat kills, their ability to bring other players in to the team. Just tying up so much money, you would want to have it like now, have majority of the cash, just because you'd think, you know, Elijah Hewitt and a few of these other players in a couple of years that they'd be wanting to try and recontract those players. So yeah, like no one at West Coast is on big money, especially with Oscar Allen gone. So it might be the year to say, cool, Harley, here's a couple of million. Yep, super front loaded. In the next little while, you won't be getting paid as much. But then that's it.
Yes, Mark. We'll be doing a watch along tonight. So yeah,
I'll see you now, I guess.
Yeah, Ben has one trade left. Still got Chera is confirmed out, guys. From what I'm reading in messages. So apparently Chera is out. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So I've got another donut this one.
Anyone get? You're right. You're right, Michael. Anyone can get injured for sure. Like you can't not be offering people big bucks if they deserve it just because of concern that they might get injured. But the issue is, again, it's the drive, it's the push. When you're giving a kid that hasn't quite fully developed yet, like the science is in, you know, young men their brains don't finish fully developing until they're like 23 to 25 years of age. So, and you're giving a kid still, yeah, I get it. He's an adult. I get it. Legally, he's an adult. But let's be real. In the grand scheme of things, he's still a kid. And you're giving him that much money. It's hard to find the motivation. It will be hard to find motivation.
My question is, Joe, is he even that good? Like,
well, that's what Bella's saying.
When's been the last time that we saw Harley Reid do what Harry Sheezel's done in his first year of footy? You know, when has it been like the time when Harley Reid's put the game on his back? Like, sure, he's been a pest and pushing people around and whatever else like that. But when has been the last time that he's actually done and dominated? It's not been. He
did last year. I will never forget his goal, bursting from the center square.
Yeah, but
he burnt off Oliver, and then Petrarca could not go with him, and then he sinks that goal on the run from 50. Like, it was insane. Like, obviously he's had second year blues, and he hasn't had Elliot. He didn't have Elliot Yeo, for example, protecting him in the midfield. Like, the type of player that he is he's strong, and I think he has the record for most broken tackles in a season or something. So the thing for him is his best work, I feel, is that outside type player, the Dusty Martin, where you can break a tackle at pace and storm towards the inside, storm towards the 50, kick a goal. But with all the injuries at West Coast, he's been forced to be that in and under type player, using his strength at the first layer, when I think his best is the second layer, where he has someone like a Yo extracting the ball to him, and then he can use his explosiveness to get to the outside rather than trying to use his strength on the inside. So I think this year he's had it pretty tough because he's not playing the role that he wants to play. He hasn't had the support from one of the best inside mids in the comp, and also because there's always expectation and pressure on him because of how much he's highly touted. So there's a lot of things that are going against him this year. He's actually a gun freak of a player, but I still don't think though that you can just waltz up and give him $20 million as his first contract. He has to work for it.
If it was a Nick Dacos, if it was a Harry Sheezel second year, if it was a half a dozen other players, I can see it. I don't know if Harley Reid's worth the money. I think to West Coast, not to lose him, potentially he's worth the money. But as a player himself, I don't think he's worth it. I'm worried for them that they will say in a couple of years, oh, wait, look at the performances that he's putting on field, and he's the $24 million man. You know, third year in the AFL, the amount of pressure that you've got, and the hope, want, and need at some point to try and carry the team for the fact that we're paying you so much. It's crazy. Let's check out the teams.
Yeah. Isn't a 2-year deal for $2 million with a handshake? 2 years for $2 million with a handshake for 7 years more. Handshake? I'm not sure the AFL would agree with the handshake sort of agreements. All right, let's go with the teams. Giants, Dogs come in unchanged after belting my boys last week. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Meanwhile, Kelly, Buckley, and Green all out for the Giants. 3 really important players. Rouston, Alir, and Thomas comes in. Tipping the Doggies in this one.
Yeah, I have as well.
Tipping the Dogs by... I'll tip the Dogs by 23. Then, Crows hosting the Hawks. Ooh, so yeah, Michelini out for basically the rest of the year. That's unfortunate. And Laird's been managed. Coming back in, Sprory Smith and Hugh Bond. Pedler drop. Mabior Chol. Wow.
Yep.
4 key forwards. Wow.
There's been a lot of talk about, hey, where does he fit into the team? What's going to happen? Maybe they're going to put one of them in the back line, Joe, and just say, hey, Chol or someone else, today you're just going to be the intercept marker. See what happens. But, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Maybe they're going to try and just go for a shootout.
Yep. Good work.
Maybe they're going to be like, look, we're going to load up on tools that are pretty decent on ground level. Like Chol is pretty dynamic. They might be challenging them to a full-blown shootout. And saying, I reckon we can back in our back line, which is pretty strong. We can back in our strong back line to try and stem the tide a little bit, but we're going to try and just outscore you. I like it. We'll be keen to see what happens. It will be a very entertaining game to watch for sure, but I'm still going to tip the Crom at home, though.
Yeah, I've gone at
heard Bruce went over this week. Oh, okay. Interesting. And Chol could be the sub. Interesting sub choice. With Mabior Chol. Then we move Jai Cully, as Causa mentioned before. Jai Cully, the sub, not the sub, on debut, coming in for Spargo, drop, Xavier Lindsay managed, and Sharp back. Flynn dropped, Brock dropped, Reed season done, and Hutchinson done. Gross is in. We've got bench cover, Davis, Campbell shitter, and Harry Edwards. So, still tipping the Melbourne Demons. If Melbourne lose this game, imagine the scenes.
Pretty funny, eh?
I'm still tipping Melbourne, but imagine the scenes. I don't know how Goodwin would survive. I don't care if you can't afford to pay him out. That would be Cully and Reed's photo, same person. I mean, it's very similar.
Nah, Jai Cully's Jai Cully.
But yeah, this is Jai Cully. They have the same hairstyle.
Yeah. Because they're both WA.
With the part in the middle. It's like an Ollie Dempsey hairstyle.
They're both now in WA, so.
Yeah, it's like a Ollie Dempsey hairstyle sort of thing. One of the key forwards. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I think we'll just joke and maybe Crimson. Good to see you, by the way. Then, Tukey boy is back. Big news for the Suns. Tuke Miller back in the side. Armstrong, Seth Campbell. I like Seth. I love Seth. He's a very good player. Alga injured, and Broad has got some sort of illness. Lombard dropped for Tuke, of course. Someone's got to make way for Tuke Miller. Definitely tipping the Suns at home with this.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens with Davies now that Tuke's back into the team, because I think they were playing a similar type of role and then now they obviously can't play a similar type of role. It's interesting too that this week Malcolm Roses Jr. is not playing Joe because there's been some news at the moment that it's not the Gold Coast, Richmond are trying to poach him. And these type of players these type of players always pop up when they're up for trade news to the other team. So there you go.
The interesting thing about the Suns now is that we're getting to a point where they've had so many draft concessions with their academy that they're really starting to fill out, and they're going to get more. But that also means, though, that there are players that could be playing that are left on the outer, and they could be and we're now getting to a point where the Suns are going to be so strong depth-wise that other clubs are going to be raiding their VFL side because of. And the crazy thing is, they have been around now for so long that there are people who have grown up barracking for the Suns, and they can afford to not draft some of these academy players, knowing that down the line there could be a go home factor at play, and they can now get some of those players that they otherwise would have used draft picks on. They can get them as potential free agents in the future. So the Suns are set up long term. The Suns are being set up in such a way that we're never going to see a shit Gold Coast Suns again. They could honestly end up being the Geelong of Queensland, or the Sydney Swans of Queensland, pumping up their academy, because the talent that they're getting from their academy is so much better than what Brisbane are getting from theirs, for the most part. Brisbane have certainly been fortunate with some great father-sons, but the Suns, though, oh, mate, they're going to be good for a long, long time, especially if this sort of situation continues.
Well, the AFL is not going to take away. It's not taking away the Northern Academy anytime soon. Not at least until they win one grand final. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Would you feel Gross or Ralston?
I feel Gross.
Gross is playing against Melbourne, and Melbourne are a rabble.
Harry Ralston is Sydney? No. Where does Harry Ralston play?
It's a good question. I don't even remember who Ralston is. Ralston, I think it might be GWS. He is. He's playing against the Doggies. Nah, don't go Ralston.
Don't go Ralston.
So, yeah, I'm tipping the Suns. And then
there you go, big J-Dog. I know Kai is very happy about Detoli playing for Sydney. So there you go.
Bro, what?
Yeah, I mean, he was the sub, right? So I think he may have found a way. Yeah. Sard didn't have the greatest game either. Kicked a few balls out on the full. I mean, he wasn't the reason why you guys lost, but maybe was the reason why, he's not playing anymore. So there you go.
Gee, a lot of changes here. Hamling injured. McLean concussed. Hayward injured. Franga, oh, come on. Let him play against his old side again. And Roberts dropped. Wow. Yep. So Peanut comes in. Ollie Florent, he's a good player.
I think he's just re-signed the contract too. Peter Laddams.
Oh, and McCartan is in as well. So, yeah, Hobbs is in. So Caddy's still got a groin problem, unfortunately. Rids, we know, done his hammy again. So Sard's dropped for Xavier. So Xavier, obviously, Dersma's the preferred wing option. Nguyen is a defender, so he's come in for Zach Johnson as a small defender. Probably will go to Papley. Caddy out for May. Still means, though, that another defender has come out. So it'll be interesting to see how we line up. Maybe McGrath plays more defense this week as opposed to playing in the midfield.
You don't really have any tools, do you?
No, we don't have tools. No, tools don't exist, Essendon.
Laverty's? How tall's Laverty?
192.
So he's like the tallest. Maybe
he's our tallest at the moment, yes.
Blackiston would be taller, right?
Blackiston is not. Blackiston, I think, is 19. I think it might be similar, 192 as well.
Where is he? It's 203.
Oh, it's 203. Oh, he's a ruckman.
Yeah.
He's our tallest player. Blackiston's our tallest player. There you go. I like Blackiston. He looks really good. I like him a lot. Playing in defense. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe Clark. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Far out. I wish we had more people available. Far out. These injuries are disgusting. Laddams is a 2-year deal in front of him. There you go. Wife is going Gorn VC into Rail C this week. Would like to see Cleary on ball. I mean, this is a good week to do it. We're pretty decimated. Good week to show at home in front of the home crowd against a really decimated team that's really tanking as hard as possible. I reckon give him a go on the ball. Absolutely give him a go on ball. I'm tipping the Swans for sure in that one.
Yeah, cool.
And then Ed Allen dropped. Mitchell dropped. Sullivan is injured. Bobby Hill, Norm, DeGoey and Pendles. Oh, they've loaded up. They have loaded up the pies. Meanwhile, McInerney managed.
It's a must-win game, Joe.
Must win. Oh, Jesus. I'm tipping the pies now. Far out. Vandermeer and Ralston are the subs. Thank you, Velo. Exactly. Ralston subs, so don't play him. Yep. I'm changing my tip. I'm going Collingwood. I was going to go Brisbane, but Jesus, those ins.
Yeah.
Those are ins, man.
It was funny when I was on Pommy and Oz on Monday. Check it out if you guys haven't already. I ended up tipping the entire left side this week, Joe. So it was just everyone, all the home teams. That was it.
Yeah. That's what I've done so far.
Yeah, that's what it's looking. I mean, like North Melbourne's not on the left. St Kilda's going to beat us, and then I think there's one other game. So, yeah, Freo's going to beat Carlton without a forward line.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So Zorko has been named. There were some rumors that potentially Zorko would not come up because he seems a bit cooked, but there you go. Zorko has been named, which is good.
Yeah.
Surely Berry goes to Nick Dacos this week. I mean, last time he absolutely torched him, and so there's that. And then Saints v North. This is Sunday, so extended list.
Yeah, Sunday extended list. Nice to see Cooper Harvey and Georgie Payne back. I don't think either will play, unfortunately. But they're named. They're going to be coming, I guess, down to Melbourne. We're already in Melbourne. Georgie Payne kicked 4-2 on the weekend. Cooper Harvey's been doing okay as well. Nice couple of small forwards there. We may rest bench and throw one of them in. Dice Simpkin, as Causa's saying here, Simpkin's out.
He was injured.
Finally, took a long time, yeah. So if he wasn't injured, he'd still be playing, which is a bit disappointing. But he is named. Sorry, he's not named. He's not playing. Makes us very happy as North fans. Nice to see Georgie Wardlaw back after a good VFL run. Nick Larkey's been named. I don't know if he'll be a late out, though. So we'll see what happens team-wise. But I don't
expect
on
the field.
To win. Yeah. I don't expect us to win. So we'll see what happens.
Dersma's named as well. George Wardlaw is named on field.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Wardlaw seems
looking at that interchange, you would assume that Tom Powell plays. You would probably assume that maybe Constanti plays or could be a swap for Georgie Payne this week. Potentially Will Phillips and then like one other. So
does Banj
play another defender? Well, that's it. So if you look at those numbers, we've got Constanti small forward, Cooper Harvey small forward, Georgie Payne small forward, Banch small forward, and then Robert Hansen Jr. small forward. So even though he does play a little bit on the wing, similar to Cooper Harvey. So we've basically got our team of small forwards playing, Joe, this week.
Yeah.
We'll see on Friday what
Vella's
happens.
saying Harvey will play for sure.
But potentially. There's a couple on that list who are 100% playing for their futures in terms of Hanson's re-signed, but Banch, Harvey, Payne, and Will Phillips are all playing for their futures. But I think Will Dawson's a lock. I don't think we don't play him, considering we don't really have another defender on that list there.
Yeah. Heath won't play. Hugo probably won't play. Yeah, still here. And Travalia also on the bench as well, not guaranteed to play either. So, I mean, I don't know what St Kilda would do to change their side. I mean, they just had a record-breaking comeback. Surely you just keep it as is. Hey, Tatum, good to see you, man.
What's up, Tatum?
If Cooper Harvey plays, I can get 23 on field and a mid and a third. What the hell? But he needs help with a Chera replacement. Okay.
Yeah.
How much money you got?
I currently don't have a Chera replacement either. So that's always fun.
How much is Chera? 445.
If Liddy plays, I now have 21. If Liddy doesn't play, I can't. DPP on the bench has murdered me, Joe. So it's a real pain at the moment.
445 in the midfield. I mean, you could go Newcomb. Could go LDU. Depends how much money you got in the bank, of course. But without knowing that. But as Cause is saying, Collard had crutches last week. Don't know why named. Jeez. He had crutches.
I think
still named. Gee, this guy's a fitness guru or something.
There you go.
Then Geelong against Port. Who was out? Bergman is gone. So yeah, Bergman, you got to trade him out. He's done for the year. Lukosius injured and Logan Evans is sick. Jack Whitlock apparently could be playing this week. I think it's been announced that he will play this week. So congratulations, Jack.
Yeah, there's some talk that we may try and poach him. So we'll see if that might be a cheeky announcement saying, hey, come and play. You know, you're getting the game. Why would you leave? You know, blah, 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 blah. We'll see.
Really? Is Jai Clark back? No. Jai Clark is on the bench. Bro, his finger injury is finally healed? Really? Never maybe abused. Soldo, Williams, Liddy could be back. Where's Liddy? On the bench? Yeah. Meanwhile, Ratkins called the career. So, that was Bruin. Oh, damn it. I am inevitable. I love it. Wrong Geelong mid. Damn it. I don't know why I thought it was Jai Clark. It was Tanner Bruin. Fair enough.
They do look the same.
They do look the same. They all look the same in Geelong. Using my last trade to go Bergman to Nazaya. Wow, very nice. Doc gets to ride the pine for the rest of the year. Yeah, Nazaya's great. Is Sicily a good replacement for Chera? Using McCarthy and Flex?
Yep.
Sicily.
Yeah, I'd do it. I'd do it. I think next couple of games he'll do okay.
There is Hawthorn. Oh, geez. Tough run. Tough run. Third hardest run.
Which means he might just get the ball, though.
Could mean that he gets the ball a lot. True. How much money you got, Tatum? Why are people trading out Caleb Daniel? Because they want to burn a trade. Yes, I meant Tanner Bruin, and I completely confused the two. Yes, I meant Tanner Bruin. I was shocked and surprised, but no, it's Tanner Bruin. Tough run. Yeah, he has found form. I've only got 458. But yeah, he definitely looks a lot better than before, for sure. 458 as a defender. Oh, it doesn't have to be a defender because you have defensive mid DPP.
I don't mind Sicily.
Yeah, Sick Dog seems to be back to his best. Yeah, go with Sick. If not him, then
Get Callum Mills. He's still cheap.
Yeah, no, he seems pretty good. Could go with the astronaut, maybe.
No one's picking the astronaut. Come on,
yeah,
Joe.
no, he's your best bet. I do like Sicily.
Come on, Joe.
Yeah, Sicily's good. Yep. All right. Back to these games. So yeah, I'm tipping the Cats at home.
Yep, me too.
For sure. I've tipped the Saints and tipping Geelong. And the last game of the round, I am tipping Fremantle. Brody? Wow, interesting. Maybe not. Chera out.
Yeah.
Doherty retired and Kerno out as well.
It's a lot of young kids back in the team, I tell you what. Doherty out, Kerno out for the rest of the year. Chera, maybe he comes back next week, maybe not. Harry O'Farrell has definitely started dominating, which has been great. Matt Carroll, if you guys had him at 99K for the entire year, you'd be very, very happy. Unfortunately, I traded him out a couple of weeks ago and it further spiraled my team into oblivion. But yeah, really good players. So nice to kind of see. I mean, Freo are going to win. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
But Carlton have no forward line. They barely have a defense. But it's going to be a shellacking.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see if Erasmus plays because I know there's a few teams that are looking at bringing him into the team.
Wow. It is the home ground.
That's what I said.
Home teams week. Interesting. Very interesting. Freo beating us by 10 plus goals. Probably. Yeah. De Koning named as the main ruck. I don't even know why they're playing Tom De Koning still. Like, he hasn't signed. He's not turning down 1.7, 1.8 million a year from the Saints.
It's to try and boost up his trade value, I think, more than anything.
But they're not trading. He's going as a free agent. They're going to get the massive compo. They're not going to be able to match the bids that's coming from the Saints. He's going as a compo pick. Like, there's no point playing him. Like, he should not be playing. Like, have some standards. Like, he's going. So why?
There's no one else, Joe. All the forwards are dead. There's no one else. That'd be the only reason. If Kono and Mackay
there's surely a kid
were playing. They've got no one else.
They surely have kids that they can play or a young ruck that they can develop rather than gifting games to a guy who's leaving at the end of the year. Surely that you just play Pito as the number one and, Cripper pinch hits like we've seen him do it many times in the past. I don't know. Bont for VC into Dacos or Gorn. Oh, I reckon Gorn's a very solid pick. I think Gorn plays before Collingwood does. So you can VC Gorn, yeah. VC Gorn. Or you're going to Bont VC. Okay. Yeah, Bont could go big tonight. Bont into Gorn. Yeah, I reckon that's pretty good. Is Chera sore foot after too many clangers last week?
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
If they want to be seen as premiership contender, they need to flog us. True. Or just win comfortably without getting out of second gear. VC Gorn to see Nando's. Oh, yeah. Nando's at home against the Richmond. Beautiful.
I like it.
Beautiful, Ben. We are not matching, so we get a first-round pick, and TDK has to play. No, Lemmy is injured? Man, that sucks. Lemmy was doing so well in the VFL for you guys. VC Gorn and C Baz. Yeah, Baz at home against Port could do pretty well. Can you trust Baz as a captain?
No, I don't think so.
Who else you got, Jax? Lewis Young can just pinch hit. Yeah, you would think so. Like, Nando's into Sinclair for you. Sinclair against North at Marvel. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And Nando's will, but you're more likely. I think you're most likely going to take the Nando's score, I reckon.
I've gone Nasiah versus North, I think.
What a good couple of games in the last couple of weeks. Had so many bad ones. Freo over Pies in that last quarter of the Saints. Wow, Melbourne run off their legs. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, who could be a good VC? You probably have Bont, right? You can do Bont into Nando's, Jax. I reckon that's pretty good. Bont into Nando's is pretty nice.
I would do that.
Going into Grundy. Oh, you rubbing it in, you Sim. I love it. Very nice. I'm doing probably Bont into Grundy for me. But yeah, Nando's into Sinclair, pretty good. Yeah, there's a few captaincy options. So from obviously you got the Bont this tonight. You probably won't go anybody in this game. You go obviously Gorn against the Eagles. Obviously, you know, if you have a Rowell or an Anderson, you're loving life to the fullest. If you got Grundy, you're pretty happy. If you've got, I reckon Heaney could be a good shout too. Obviously, Dacos is always a fair shout against the Lions. Any St Kilda player, Nass or Sinclair, could be very good against North. You can always back Geelong to win at home, but you just never know who's going to get off the chain. Is it Baz or is it Holmes? You just never know. It's always a bit of a coin flip. And then Fremantle. The Freo boys could go well at home in a smashing. Could go with a Hayden Young. Oh, no one has Hayden Young. Could go with a Sarong or a Brayshaw potentially, but there are better options. I think there are some players that are going to go to the moon. Any of the Saints boys, or a Dacos, Grundy, any of the Gold Coast boys. There's a few players that are, I think, standouts in terms of the. Travis, I love it. Thank you very much. You didn't have to do that, man. Who you're upset? Lions over Pies. Lions won last 5 at the G.
Look, I think the Pies with Bobby Hill, the goey back, I think they're going to win. It's tough with the ins in this week.
Yeah, I was going to tip them. I was initially tipping Brisbane. I said it actually top of the podcast. I was saying that I want to tip the Lions to win this, but then I saw the ins for Collingwood, and I thought, oh crap! Like these are really good ins. Norm Smith medalist, De Goey, X Factor, and Pendles. You know, just one of the greatest Collingwood players of all time. I still would love the Lions to win. Absolutely would love for the Lions to win this game. But with these 3 ins, I think it just gets them over the top. Love to be wrong. I have a funny feeling the Lions will beat them in a thriller. Bro, that would be amazing. I would love for that to happen. But Dead End is pretty confident that the Pies will win. They could be underdone, though. Joe Hill and De Goey especially. It depends, I suppose, how they're... Yeah, they probably could be. I don't know how many weeks Bobby's been training fully. Same thing with De Goey. I don't really know how long they've been training for, but still, you're back in the talent. Like, I like De Goey more than Mitchell, and I like Pendles more than Allen, and I like Bobby more than Sullivan. Like, I think on every one of these players, there is an upgrade. So even if they're not 100%, the team has had 3 upgrades, essentially. So all home team tips, with 14 points, leading by 3 in the work tipping. So tipping North as my roughie this week. Yo, nice.
Don't do that. Don't, Sim. Don't, no.
Simulator, mate.
That's a no.
You go as risky play. Could be the sub. He could be the sub. Yeah, I agree. Reckon Saints are still celebrating their comeback win. That's a good shout.
Look, I would say okay, but just forget that Teakle is shit and North don't have a ruckman. If Cherry was back, okay, but we don't have a ruck, and I don't think Teakle's going to do much. So it's a huge negative in an area on the field where with Wardlaw, with a couple of these other guys in the team, we could dominate. We don't have Cherry to back it up. So I think it's a missed opportunity, to be honest. Like, I would love if we beat the Saints, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's going to happen this week. Next week, Cherry's back. 3 more weeks of the season. Cool, but not this week.
They are playing that last quarter at the game this week. Maybe.
They'll play it from round 1.
Their point grades and upgrade at 120 tips for the year. 120. Jesus. That's a lot of tips. And your 13-year-old daughter on 124. Wowzers. Taught her too well. Hey, I'm sure you must be a very proud father. How many tips am I on? I'm on something crap. Wait, why are my total tips blank? Wait, have I logged into the wrong tipping account? Well, then, that's no good. I got to get out of this. I wonder how many tips I'm actually on. Log in. Is this the actual proper login? Yes. I'm on 121. There we go. So I was logged into the wrong one. That explains everything. So Doggies, Crows, Melbourne, Gold Coast, Sydney, Collingwood, St Kilda. Yeah, all the home teams. So yeah, I'm on 121 at the moment, which is not too bad. Not too bad. Roma, your favorite player, going huge. You would think Roma would go huge, and no, he is not my favorite player. Thank you very much. Stuff for you, Roma Tomato. You screwed me over so much last year. Never forgive, never forget. But yes, he will go big. Surely Ken just double teams Jezza. Like, you're going to lose by 90 anyway. Well, if he's going to lose by 90 anyway, might as well at least be part of history, helping the good man reach 100 goals.
Nah, you don't want to be that team.
Well, he's not going to get to 100 on their heads. He needs 31 goals. He's not going to get 31 goals.
He could kick 31. You never know. Could happen.
Yeah, right. I have no faith in them winning, but I feel bad for everyone. Oh, now he's just rubbing it in. Unbelievable. I had a shitty start to the year, but I've been good past 8 weeks or so. Yeah, I had a shit start to the year as well. No, Big J. George is back. Will straight up the midfield. Hold the faith. The Saints are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Potentially. Like, I'm happy if we win. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy if we win. But, yeah.
I have 122, and I'm only 12 off the leader. Only 12. Hey, you can... It'll be hard to make it up for the 12 at this point, but... Pretty good. 122 is very solid. I should have been on 122, but I forgot to tip because I was in Cairns. So I forgot to tip the first game, and I was obviously going to tip the Hawks, but unfortunately I forgot. And by the time I was watching the game, I sort of realized, oh crap, I didn't tip. So, yeah, I should have been on 8 last week. I fairly and squarely got this one wrong, but, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't tip the Hawks-Carlton game, and, yeah, I should be on 122, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, it's very solid. Myers will get 140. Yeah, Myers was the ticket back in the day. Ben's also 121 on 122. Equal first. Beautiful. So yeah, a few of us on very similar tips at the moment. Let's have a look at the rankings at the moment.
Now, Joe,
for
just remember, I've put up the stream. I've set it to 7:30 or 7:25. So give yourself a little bit of time, Joe, to do what you need to do before jumping back on.
Thank you. I'll go 8. But yeah, shout out to Jen. Jen leading our tipping on 127. Well done, Jen.
Nice work, Jen.
Sean on 126. Second place, bacon sandwiches. Rodney O, 125, equal with Brad. The reverse talk, Frank. Frankie Supercoach. And then there's a bit of a gap between the top 5. Velo 122, Praddock 122, I'm a 121, Michael on 120, Jez 118. Come on, man. But you're not the worst. You're not the worst. We've got some people a lot worse than you. These are people who I'm sure have forgotten to do a lot of tipping. There's no way you only got 71 tips right this year. You clearly are not an avid tipper. You haven't been following up. But well done to Jen leading the tipping thus far. I think it's out of the top 5. Someone in the top 5 will win. I think Velo, you might be just a bit too far out potentially, but we'll see what happens. So I will go. I need to eat.
I'll head on.
Oh yeah, from 24 down. Have quit for sure. Yeah, for sure. They've quit for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go eat quickly before the game starts. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you had to see or hear here today and you're new, subscribe. Otherwise, like, hit the notification bell. And thank you guys so much for joining us.
Guys, it's been a great season. Super Coach Finals coming out very soon in the next 4 weeks, I assume. AFLW coming out in the next couple of weeks. We will have the members AFLW team. Joe and I will be showing our AFLW teams as well, most likely. So that'll be pretty good as well. Stay tuned for that.
Yep. All right, guys. If you want to do the watch along, I'll see you guys. What time's the game? 7:30.
So I've put 7:25.
I'll see you guys at 7:25 for the watch along. All right. Bye.
See you, fellas. Bye.